together, pass hysteria.
When some wild-eyed eight-foot-tall maniac grabs your neck, taps the back of your favorite head up against a barroom wall, and he looks at Christy in the eye and he asks if you paid your dues.
Inconceivable! Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Yes, we are live via Memorex.
But are we alive, though?
Not after this week. I am kind of like, I am like beaten up and sore and ready to go to bed.
Right.
In fact, I think I slept 14 hours yesterday. So this is Geek Public Radio on geekpublicradio.com. This is the podcast.
The podcast.
The podcast.
The podcast.
And just like I said a little bit in the beginning, we just get out of Gen Con this past weekend, and I went all 4 days. Sonny went twice.
Yeah.
Friday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Those tended to be the shorter days.
Yes.
Well, Friday wasn't. I mean, it wasn't long. We literally left right after the.
Right. No, Friday wasn't as long as when we done our live show on in conjunction.
Right.
I mean, it was close, but it wasn't the same amount of time. Of course, at In Conjunction, we needed a hotel room too.
Yeah, that wasn't happening.
Yeah.
The difference between like a hotel at InCon and a hotel at Gen Con is about $500 a night. That's the difference between.
Multiply it by a factor of 10.
So it was definitely a fun thing this week, though.
But we went without the chairs this year.
We sat down a lot more.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but I have to say the new meds actually have helped me, and it still tore me up.
Right. Baby steps.
I was wishing for the chairs by the time I got done.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of times like, it'd just be so much handier to, if it hadn't been for the rickshaws.
Oh,
the rickshaws were a lifesaver.
Oh, that was like 90% of the expense this weekend. Was rickshaws, cab, scooters.
Yeah, you weren't getting me on one of those death machines.
Because, well, like I said, I weigh 120 pounds lighter than you, and those things still got fast. I could not do it if my legs were weak. Like if I was starting to get wobbly, I know it would just take off and like right into a lamppost or something. It'd be like dead. Like Congoer found dead.
Right.
Head on into.
You look like that witch at Halloween.
Right.
Wrapped around a tree or whatever with a broomstick.
But what was your Gen Con haul this year?
Delta Green.
Yeah, you got a lot of Delta Green stuff.
And not a damn bit of it was like game stuff. It was all like
well, no, because it uses a gumshoe system, and it's for all of it now.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to license the stuff from Chaosium anymore.
Yeah. Which
I noticed as soon as because I was researching online because you had asked what the gumshoe system was.
Yeah.
And it's an investigative system. And apparently, when everything was found out to be public domain that they were using, they just stopped using the system and went to a system that was also open gaming, and open GL. So they could use all the public domain monsters. They could use all the public domain books. They can use all the public domain stuff. And there, I mean, so, but going down the list of like what I met with Modifius, Chaosium, and FASA.
Yeah.
Talking about licensing stuff for our stuff.
Yeah.
And Modifius, Chris sent me a big long. I sent him a big long email that what the questions were, so he could tell me, like go through the list. he went through the list. You know, said public. There's a lot of stuff in public domain. You need to go check that out. Yada yada yada. Basically, he was telling me instead of talking to Chaosium right away, that if we can get everything under public domain, to do that first.
Right.
So apparently the list is a lot longer than I thought.
Right. It's one of those shoe kids. Don't bother me until you're ready for me.
No, he's actually really interested. Like, he went through line by line and actually, like, answered the questions line by line.
Right.
And I didn't expect him to do it. I sent it off saying, hey, won't we, I said, I know you're probably still flying back. I just want to get this out, take your time, get used to, get back to being normal, and you can, yeah, the office phone's in the other room ringing. But so trying to get that, just take your time.
Yeah.
But he answered yesterday, which I thought was cool. And I have to write a licensing proposal. Mm-hmm. Never done that before.
Right.
I don't know how to do that.
I bet you can Google that shit.
I Googled that shit.
See.
And as licensing proposal, like, hey, I want you to license my stuff.
And see, that would be my proposals right there. I'd be like, hey, why don't we do this? Proposal just seems like, hey, here's a question.
Right.
I propose we do this.
Right, but
seems like a 2-3 sentence thing for me, but that's why I don't do it.
Right, but he wants something like official and whatnot.
Well, you can sign it.
But no, like I said, I found a lot of stuff about like other people licensing your stuff, but not like a proposal to license somebody else's stuff for your content. So I sent out some feelers and whatnot. And
so you send him a mem with a cat on it that says, "Please, sir, can I has Cthulhu?"
Can I has? Well, not Cthulhu. It was something else.
Well, you know what I mean.
But it would be great if because he was really amenable to it. And then he was like, "Yeah, I didn't even have to push. Like, well, this is what we wanted." And he goes, "That's what you want?" Like, yeah. He goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, because they're not doing anything with it. So.
Right. It literally has been on the shelf since '85.
Right.
So, like, can I, play with that? Sure, kid. I guess.
Phrasing.
Have fun with it. But how was the con? I mean, like I said, you went 2 days. We spent a lot of time at the film festival.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I learned some things that I didn't know about. I guess I don't know. That kind of sounds creepy. I learned some things about myself I didn't know. It sounds like some weird after-school special.
Let me tell you things about you that you didn't know.
Yeah. Let me tell you something about you that you don't know. And we just summarized my marriage. So, I'm notoriously difficult to get along with.
Yeah,
she's a saint. And nobody's going to argue that fact. No, not to get too deep into it, I just didn't realize that how reassuring it was sometimes for me to have my back against a wall.
No, I feel you.
But
that's why I became like task oriented.
Yeah,
because it was when I first started walking through, and I actually got a chance on Saturday morning to finally walk the vendor hall. Mm-hmm. I found myself I got halfway through it before I was like, I can't. So, like, I found what I definitely wanted to find, but then I became task oriented. Like, okay, I need to go here, then I come back, then I need to go here.
Right.
And that's how I got through large groups of people.
Well, and like I say, I think I have a lot of what's the word? The extenuating circumstances for some of that shit. So I don't know.
I just have generalized anxiety. So
I don't even know that it's an anxiety thing. It's like out of nowhere, I'd be like, I just start to get pissed. I'm like, okay, something's up. I don't know what it is, but I need to remove myself from the proximity of a shitload of people.
Right.
Because I kind of want to start throwing elbows. Let me go outside and smoke. Let me go sit down and get something to eat. Let me cool off some. Let me break that damn phone in the other room. But
well, no, I mean, it happens. Like I said, mine's just anxiety, and I take stuff for it. And unfortunately, if I would have taken the full dosage this last weekend, we wouldn't have done anything.
You'd have been in a coma.
Because I finally got up back to my full dosage on Monday.
Yeah.
And was unconscious.
Yeah.
Like, I did a little bit of stuff, but I slept from like 5 o'clock in the afternoon to probably around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I was gone.
I mean, compared to last year when we were stuck in the chairs, I had more fun this year because, even though, even with the new issues that I found out, I could actually go and look at shit, and so that was a lot of fun. It was a more enjoyable experience now. I don't know. I don't know. Train of thought totally derailed.
Oh, mine did too. See,
I saw a lot of neat shit.
Yeah, there was a lot of neat shit. What's funny is, like, walking through there, I still miss the stuff that we were getting sent pictures of. Like, apparently there was a 6 foot tall, 8 foot tall Cthulhu statue.
Yeah, I don't know
somewhere
where
on the
that was
floor
at.
that I completely missed, and we almost went through that whole thing and didn't see it.
Well, a lot of that stuff, looking at the fans of Gen Con group, it's like, wow, I didn't know they had that. I didn't know they had that. And I'm like, of course I wouldn't know they had that shit because I'm stuck in a perpetual state of looking at the floor.
Right.
It's one
but
thing.
if
we
I
walk
would have
around
seen
and
it,
stop,
I would have
lean
been
back and look around. I'm like, okay, so.
Yeah, but if I would have seen it, I would have been like, hey, look at that. I didn't see it.
Yeah, but if you point up, hey, look at that, I'm going to punch you right in the nuts.
No, I'm going to say, hey, back up.
Funny, whap.
Like, back up. Okay, now you got a good check that out.
That was the good thing about about being in the chair last year was that I could see everything because I kind of leaned back like I am now. I can see everything going around.
Right.
So that's the difference is that I had to have a seeing eye hobbit this year, and there was a couple of times
it felt like we were moving to Mordor. That's what I felt like.
There was a couple of times your last took off, started to leave me, and I was like, well, I'll just keep walking this direction.
Well, I stopped.
Yeah. I gotta get a leash for Mr. Frodo.
A bungee cord. Get back
right.
here. So so I ended up picking up a couple Traveler things. Mm-hmm. Both GDW works, so that fits in with our theme of still sticking with GDW, even though they don't exist and they have moved all of the properties into someone else.
Right. Way better luck at the auction this year than you had last year, though.
Yeah, because I wasn't.
Because you're able to buy something.
Yeah, I wasn't sitting in a chair and off to the side where they were overlooking me while pointing at the one guy behind the.
Right.
So. And I think the guy read my name when I wrote it down and whatnot, and he looked at it and went, here, and just handed me stuff. And I was like, okay, apparently my letter last year made a difference. I don't know. But, yeah, it was overall, I had a great time. I spent a lot of time at the film festival. Mm-hmm. We talked to a lot of cool people. We have some footage that I am cutting together, and as soon as I can get the agreement to use the song that I wanted to use at the beginning of it, then you will see that posted up on our YouTube channel and on the Roku channel and the Fire TV app channel, and possibly the GPTV or the Geek Public Television on the website.
On the GPR website.
Mm-hmm. Oh, bearing the lead, we launched.
Yeah, right. I was like,
kind of buried that lead. We launched Geek Public Television We kind of did with GPTV, which is our Roku on-demand station. We were originally I was hoping to gear that towards live streaming TV, but we hadn't found the way to do it yet. And now, apparently, like a year after, like, we started that, it's now a thing. Like, yeah, here's out of the box how to do it. Like, oh, awesome. I don't have to code anything either.
Right.
Which is a big plus.
Well,
I said plus.
Yeah.
Because my brain went, what did you just say?
It took me a second, too. Have we told? I mean, I know
no, we haven't really. This is our first time telling anybody.
Yeah, I mean,
I said, "Hey, look at the page," and shared the link.
We had everything go on with the station.
Mm-hmm.
So that the radio side of it's pretty well dead now.
Right.
But I don't think we have actually done a show or done a podcast
since Incon.
Yeah. So we haven't talked about it on here yet.
Right, but granted, that's only been a month ago. Like, literally,
we
just
talked
a month
about it on Metal and Madness because Metal and Madness has done its final show.
Right.
So we talked about it there, about what went on. But I don't think we have had an official, like, yeah, okay, well, radio station went away, and now we're doing this instead.
Yeah.
So
in a nutshell, radio station went away, and we're doing movies and films instead.
Yeah.
And we got some really cool ones, like Night of the Living Dead's on there, like on our streaming service. And then of course you got Plan 9 from Outer Space. Silly stuff like that. You have, in fact, Friday I go pick up 2 more films, and then we got 5 more coming from the Submerged universe. We have there's a whole bunch more coming. 2 more coming from Indianapolis as well. So we keep adding stuff to the on demand, and everything that we stream is also available on our on demand. So if you once we get the schedules solidified, I think right now we're doing comedies in the morning, and then it goes into westerns in the afternoon, and then we do some of the local short stuff and later in the afternoon, and sci-fi, then horror over the evening.
Yeah.
And I think that's generally how we're going to do it. But there's a few things that are going to be actual series that will run at a specific time every night. So or every on a Saturday or Friday nights at 7:00 or 8:00, prime time area, you'll see this or that or but they'll be there. Complete series run on that. I think it'll be interesting.
Now, are you going to get the series? Or is the He Is Coming going to finish?
We sold that property.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. That is now in Shelbyville's hands.
Oh, okay. I did not realize that.
Yeah. And he has it to do the whole thing. He has the full script, and
for all the way through to the conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, so all right. Well, that's pretty much a feature.
Well, no, it's still about 30 minutes. It's about
okay.
Yeah. Because they were originally written for 5 minutes.
That's right. Yeah. So
he's about 6. He has 6 shorts worth of a movie. And he liked it. The way it ended, and just how he wanted it, and I was like, okay, if you like it. So that is now his baby.
Okay.
He still wants me to act in it, though. You can tell my excitedness,
He just wants to tell you what to do.
Yeah. He's excited because he gets to kill me in the end.
Okay. Well, I can't really blame him for that.
He's like, you've killed me in every movie you've ever had me in. I want to kill you once.
That's fair.
I'm like, all right. I killed myself in a movie. This at Tampa, like that. and he felt let down. He's like, you should have made it one of my films. But to kind of slide back into Gen Con mode a little bit, because we digress.
Yeah.
I also picked up, what are they called? Game Design Workshop in a Box.
Yeah.
It's basically supposed to teach you how to build a game. Like any game. From scratch to, completion, yada, yada, yada. So you have like all the essays and stuff in this book, and then you have all the little bits like counters and punch out stuff and that you would need to like prototype something small, because that's when I realized, that might be enough to prototype a board game, but the game that we're looking at doing, we have way more parts than, I don't know, the giant bag of meeples was good. We could use those.
Yeah. What's a
But
meeple?
the little wood human figure with different colors.
Well, I thought those were little starfishes.
No, those are meeples.
Oh,
Those
I
are
thought they were little fat starfish.
little peoples.
Okay.
But those are good. I already rated every game related to our thing to find every miniature that we could get. So we're pretty good on the miniature side. But
Right.
but I thought that was cool, and it was like $20. So like it was like taking a class from the guy at the University of Wisconsin or New Hampshire or whatever. But it's in a box. You can do it from home and don't have to worry about tuition and dealing with other people.
Right.
Just sit in your dark room and go, oh, okay, that's what it means. I'd still like to get in touch with a few designers and actually sit down and do some stuff like, okay, what would you suggest the first thing to do? And like get a consensus from like, okay,
Right.
if you want to sit down, what would your thing be?
Right.
And I talked to a few of them this weekend, and they're down to do it. I just gotta, so I got all the information and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you're starting to look like me over there.
Well, it's because this microphone's so damn close to my face. It's messing with my, focusing on it.
Yeah.
But,
Turn it like this, and then that way you can have it a little off-centered, and you can still talk.
no, because then you complain because you can't hear me. But,
Yeah.
yeah. And that
So like I
summarizes the convention right there.
Yeah. It was a great time. I had a good time. Just utterly exhausted. Like I said, I literally slept from 5 in the afternoon to 10 in the morning, something ridiculous long.
Yeah.
And then because of random body, my lips swelled open and got all big. I had to take
What?
No, it's
Just random things swole up. Whoa.
my lips swollen. And I woke up like I got in a fight with Buster Douglas.
Right.
There's just a big, and so I had to take my antihistamines and whatnot to try to bring that down, which made me drag ass all day yesterday. And it showed, because that was the day my father-in-law showed up to help me with the shower, with the bathroom.
Right.
And normally I'm just quick to be able to visualize, okay, this is what we need to do. This is how long we need this many elbows, say for plumbing, we need this many elbows, this much pipe, yada yada yada. And he goes, well, okay, what do you think we need? And I'm like, a nap. He showed up at 2, and I was still out of it. That was another day of going to bed bright and early and waking up right before he showed back up today. Though we did get a lot more done today. My meds are back down to normal levels instead of... so I wasn't as exhausted, tired, and all that stuff. But it was horrendous. What do we got coming up?
Probably a break.
Well, no, we don't get to do breaks on this one.
Oh.
Remember, this is the podcast. We're not.
Oh, that's right. Well, then probably a pausing. How's that?
I guess.
All right.
All right. Well,
that was quick.
The pause.
Yes.
Take a
pause for dramatic effect.
But so no. What I was asking is like, what do we got coming up? I guess for us would be Starbase Indy.
Yeah.
So we got to get our stuff in for that.
Yeah.
Just too much stuff. Starting next year, you're talking about conglomeration, concoction.
Who's your con?
What was the other? Origins. In conjunction, Gen Con, then ending Starbase.
Yeah. Unless any more conventions get a hold of us.
Right. Because the one in Louisville got a hold of us because they're missing their podcast people.
Yeah, that's conglomeration.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. And then somebody had said something or other about PopCon, but I don't know if we're doing that or not.
No, because there's no way for us to get into PopCon because the PopCon is literally for just podcasters and YouTube people. Yeah. Literally, that's all who set up. But most, like 90% of the booths are like YouTubers, and
I guess technically we should do PopCon, but meh.
But it's $300 a table.
Yeah, I'm not that interested in doing it, to be honest with you.
No, because it's on like Father's Day weekend.
Oh well, yeah, we couldn't do that anyway.
Yeah, so
or I couldn't do that anyway. No,
I went once, and we did video from there. So like the video from there ended up being what to buy your father on Father's Day from PopCon. Yeah. So we went to every single booth that could have something.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting a Deadpool tie.
Yeah.
But no, we would have a bigger report from Gen Con
if we hadn't spent so much time
at the film festival. Which the film festival, if you haven't heard of it, if you go to Gen Con and you didn't know there was a film festival, back in the day they used to have, just like at InCon and some of the other, they had film rooms, like the anime room, and they'd have this, and it would just be movies playing all the time, but they were like the bigger movies.
Right.
With the film festival, about 10 years ago.
Yeah, because next year will be their 10th anniversary.
You can actually meet the filmmakers. You can see like stuff that you can't see on like Netflix or Hulu or all that stuff. You actually see the stuff, and some of it you can actually see it before it airs on Netflix. For instance, the War Gamer, the movie.
Yeah.
They actually have a proposal from Netflix, but he may pass on it for Hulu, depending on how much money they got put up. Right. But he's in distribution, so there's a chance that you can be watching Wargaming the movie. The Art of the Eye of the Beholder, Art of D&D. Same guys who did Toys You Grew Up On.
The Toys That Make Us?
Yeah, the Toys
That Made Us.
That's on Netflix.
Yeah.
They made another one, and that's heading to Netflix as well.
Excellent.
So, so you can actually see these movies before, and they're not just that. You have some horror movies. You have comedies. Short films. You got comedies. You have Diary of a Wimpy Alien. Won actually best series.
Yeah.
But
well, that Wargaming, I believe it won the best documentary.
Yep. Which was a stuffed, because it was actually up against Eye of the Beholder.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of feature films go through there. A lot, and some of them you'll see, some of them you won't see. So it's definitely an interesting thing to go. Like, especially if you didn't know, we spent time in the Chaosium booth, not like around the outside, where the rest of the the plebes were.
Shit.
I don't know. I couldn't. That's where my brain went. But no. But we actually got to be behind the thing and talking to the guys from the H.P. Lovecraft Historic Society and the prop people and the president and vice president or chief operating officer of Chaosium, and we got to have a really cool one-on-one with them and talking about that. And in the footage we got talking to Sean, the head guy from the HPL Historic Society. I was like, hey, did you know that there's a film festival? And literally looking at his movies sitting right there, and he went, no, up until about 30 seconds ago I did not. So there's going to be a big push, I guess, from the HPL Society to
Inner stuff.
To get, take over an entire room, just have, Lovecraft stuff shown.
Excellent.
They have enough right now to get a pretty good, a few hours worth of a block in one day.
Yeah.
Just on what they have. And I think if we did a push,
we're
starting now, we can fill an entire day where one room for an entire day is nothing but Lovecraft.
Yeah.
I think that should be our thing.
So you want to partner with them?
Yeah. Don't you? You look at those props and tell me.
It's true. Those are some fantastic props.
Speaking of the props, for $300.
By God, I tell you what, that's what I think of when I think of a prop.
When you pick it up and you're
some weight,
ooh.
I'm like, I could beat somebody to death with this thing. It's like 900 pounds. Well, okay, not that.
No, but I mean, it was a good, a 5-pound chunk of.
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know what to, you couldn't really tell what it was.
It was bronze.
No, I'm not talking about the leg. I'm talking about the disc.
The disc was bronze.
Was it?
Yeah, he said it was bronze.
Okay. Well, I know the little ones were bronze.
That's heavy, and it was like, yeah, that's.
I know the little ones were full bronze, and those were still hefty.
Yeah.
But the big one, and we're talking about bigger than a foot in diameter. Yeah. And in 3 pieces, it took literally 3 people to hold one, a piece, to put it together.
Right.
And we have that picture, by the way, and it'll be up on the website.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, I was like, the 3 pieces this is in, if I think of a seal of the apocalypse,
that's it.
This is it, right here.
And I was just sitting there, looking at that, and then I picked up this, what I thought, because it took me a second, because I was thinking it was going to be light, and I'm like, whoo!
Yeah.
I literally had to try twice, because this thing was a solid metal bone with stuff on it and whatnot, and I was like, oh, good God. The props.
You've been spoiled by resin casting.
Yeah, the props were props. I don't know how they could get through the weight limit through the airplane.
This ain't that foam shit.
And this came from Australia.
Yeah.
They made these down under and then brought them up here. You imagine the baggage handler going, just be careful, don't break that one. Put them all in one. The shipping.
Somewhere there's some handlers that are just hating life. That guy. Great. What's he shipping? A sarcophagus?
Yes.
Funny you mention it.
But no, you had the Australian guys on one side who had those really cool props, and you had the HP, and I don't think there's part of the Historic Society, because the other props are all paper props, and they have cool books and this, that, and the other. They all match into your game. They have the complete prop set for Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Yeah.
Every prop that you would need, the actual physical, holding on, not just a picture of it. Oh, this is what you find, or a drawing of it, or whatever.
Thunk. This is what you get.
The newspaper that you read,
right?
The actual newspaper form where you can read the funny pages in the whole 9 yards. They went above and beyond. To give you a hint, that's $150 for that prop set.
Yeah.
The gigantic broken seal of the apocalypse was $300. shipping was probably another $250 because of the weight that was involved. But
Yeah.
The bone, like they had the smaller discs that were like $50, and I almost just went ahead and grabbed one. I wanted to, but the rickshaws had actually spent my budget because I didn't want to have to take the bus.
Right.
But so yeah, the Chaosium booth was fantastic. Brain fart.
You all right there, buddy?
No.
Yes, the Chaosium booth was fantastic. I wish I had gotten to hang out behind it like Maker did.
Well, we did this on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, I was resting from Friday.
We got to talk to the guys from
FASA?
No, it was the guys who have worked with Mark Reinhagen to put out new games.
That's pretty broad. Yeah. So, it's just the gift that keeps on giving, Haven't quite recovered from it, have you?
No. It's like mine's something.
Mine's something. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, apparently he in 2016 he started to talk about Hail Cthulhu, which was licensing from Chaosium stuff, but being you in Reinhagen fashion, you are playing the monster.
Okay.
So you're playing ghouls and all that other stuff.
All right.
Make believe games. That's the guys we ended up spending a whole lot of time in the booth with the make believe games guys and getting some stuff on footage. We missed Mark because apparently there was a family issue that he couldn't be there. But so we sat in there and we learned a couple of games. We played one of his games, and then played this like Seven Seals game or something like that. And
yeah,
it's kind of a card game with tokens and whatever. It was actually kind of fun.
Okay.
But so outside of that, Modifius and their ridiculous Fallout miniatures game.
Ridiculous how?
Well, you've seen it. Like you have the entire Vault Tech thing.
Oh, okay. That's the. Well, wait a minute. Now, that's the same booth where I started, like having an issue, right?
No.
Okay. Well, then
It was shortly after that, though.
Okay, I don't know.
But because you were like, yeah, I couldn't do Vault Tech, or you couldn't do something about Fallout. You couldn't. You have a problem with or whatever.
Oh, because I think post-apocalyptic's been done to death.
Yes.
The post-apocalyptic is the new zombie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think it's kind of run its course. For me, anyway.
Right.
I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything by any means. It's just right now I'm just not interested in it.
But the level of detail in those miniatures, like the vault.
Yes.
Like literally,
that
it was a vault.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the miniatures look superb, look fantastic.
And it's not like it clicks, it's not like a hex game, it's not like any of that. You literally measure out, this is how far you can travel. boom, you have a little measure. Ding.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is where I go. And line of sight cards, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty neat. You know, the beat up cards or cars and the ruined buildings and whatnot. And I was like, oh wow. But it's the level of that is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, all of the stuff that we have kind of talked about. Whether or not we posted about it or we've talked about it on here or we talked about it amongst ourselves. The Star Trek game that they got, they just added Delta Quadrant. I think that's the one we were looking at with when they sent us the PDF.
Yeah, and that now it's not the game that irritates me. Because I don't think I was too clear because I was in the middle of my episode when we were talking about it. You're like, I looked together. Yeah, it's like too bad we'll never get to play it. You know?
Right.
You know, it's but that's just because of who we game with.
Right.
You know, so I bet it's a decent game. I would like to play it, but it's also something that I'm not going to spend money on because I never have a group to play it. Now it might be something in the future if we have a chance to get into an event or something, at Gen Con, then I wouldn't mind trying it. But you can never get a whole group amongst us up here anyway.
Right.
You can never get a whole group together to play it because
Well, we can, but if you just would be happy with 4 people.
That'd be fine. I don't care. I mean,
because we'd have 4 people.
Yeah. 4 or 5 people would be all right.
Yeah, it's not going to be any more of the 15 people games, and
yeah, I don't. And honestly, the 15 people games.
We never really got anything done.
Yeah, we didn't.
But so we checked out all that stuff, and the books looked fantastic. Of course, I kind of flipped through the vampire stuff now that Modiphius and Parallax have cut one wolf out of it.
Right.
They look pretty good. Like I said, they have the Fallout game itself, not just the miniatures game, but the thing Octon Cthulhu. They put out a couple more adventures for. They got a lot of stuff. Like that whole booth was just packed full of people the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to thank Chris for taking the minutes that he took out of his day while the line was literally wrapped around the booth to help to talk to me and whatnot. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool. Kind of same with the guys from FASA. Like we showed up there right when they said oh, he'll be here at this time. I showed up and me and the president of FASA sat and talked for literally till the event till the hall closed.
Yeah,
and they literally were like, "Oh, hall's closing, lights were going down," and he's like, they're announcing that it's time for vendors to get out.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, he's like, well, we probably should go before they get it and we get in trouble.
Right.
But he was pretty cool about stuff. Other than that, we got new dice.
I feel like I should blow you some shit because you were sitting in a faucet booth knowing how much I enjoy BattleTech and you never even got an autograph or anything.
Well, the only people there were the Earth Dawn people.
Oh, well, okay.
Because that's literally,
I've never played Earth Dawn.
I think that's the only game that they actually are putting out right now.
Probably.
Because Catalyst is the one running with BattleTech.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, just like half of Chaosium's booth was dedicated to their
sorcery or swords and sorcery,
something like that. Yeah, that actually came out before
yeah,
Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah,
by like a few years.
Yeah,
and that was Greg Stafford's game that he designed.
Yeah.
Which apparently I did not know he passed away last year.
Yeah.
So.
We all got an email.
All the Staffords?
Happened when Tom died, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We all get a memo.
But so like I said, on our part, I think the convention went really, really well. I am pleased. The show, we did our live show. Some of the footage will be in with the documentary stuff that we got. If you weren't there live, sorry.
Right.
But it was a live event. It was a ticketed event there at Gen Con, and everybody who attended had a really good time. I would like to thank everybody who helped us this entire weekend. The film festival was great. They actually, in the closing ceremonies, thanked us, and everybody applauded, and I didn't know what to do with my hands. Everybody clapped, and I'm like, I can't clap for myself.
Now you can be that guy. It's okay.
I'm over here like going, I.
See, I had an excuse. I was holding sound equipment.
Right. I literally was like this, like waving at everybody because I started to clap, and I was like,
Awkward.
Because I'm not used to that. Like, nobody mentions that we're around, but
yeah, nobody cares about us.
But they thanked us, and it was a pretty cool thing. And it's once the con was over with, I kind of was like, I don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Right.
My body was like, I know what you're doing.
Sleeping.
But do you have anything you want to add? Other than like a couple minutes of just like
other than that, well, I thought of some stuff when we took our break. Now I can't think of it. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Go check Wargaming the movie. Go check out Diary of a Wimpy Alien, because it's like Alien and Predator, like Diary of a Wimpy Alien. That's it was actually pretty cute, and it was all done with like costuming and whatnot. So
yeah,
and it looked halfway decent. Check out Art of the Beholder. There was a really good one. We actually talked to the creator about Dispel. That had the name escapes me, but she was Wash's wife on Firefly.
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But,
yeah, because you said her name before, and I was like, who? And you're like, she was Wash's wife on Firefly. Okay. Lead with that next time.
Right?
Something I've actually seen.
I did, and now I can't remember the name. She's forever now Wash's wife.
Zoe. Her character name was Zoe something.
Yeah. But because she was in it and whatnot. Of course, we talked to Demetrius. Again, Demetrius is always fun. All we have to do is say, "Hey, you want to talk?" And he's like, "Yes, I have a new line of shoes I want to."
Right.
But I joke that he is the merchandising mofo, but he is the one behind every, like, he knows how to get his movies out there.
Her name is Gina Torres, by the way.
Okay. But Demetrius knows how to get his movies out there. He's done 5 short films, and they're everywhere. Like he's at another convention this week.
Has he done has he done a soap yet?
Yeah.
Has
he's done a perfume.
Okay, because that makes sense, because submerged soap. Does he have any like headphones? Because he's got like the whole Echo 51 Echo headphones.
That there you go.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. If Dre could do it,
right?
Just put his name on, like Echo 51, Echo Beats.
Right.
Instead of Beats by Dre, like Echo Beats.
Here's your Echo location headphones. But
free
idea.
There you
Just
go.
ask for 1% of the 1%. 100%.
We-
Singular
we-
percentage.
We teased him like like the submerged underwear or whatever, and he's like, nobody's really he's like, oh no, and then one guy, Michael, the guy who was assistant to the film festival to Chuck, was like, oh no, well, I'm wearing mine right now. But that is our time. We're going to have to step away, but I'm going to go take a nap.
Right.
Sleep for another 4 days. We're only a few days out of being at the con, and that's not enough to get these old tired bones back in working order.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish watching what I've been watching so that I can.
Oh, before we go, you
proper
watched
reports.
You watched The Boys.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. I liked it.
I thought it was. I ended up binging it in like a day and a half.
Yeah.
It would have been sooner, but I had to sleep.
Yeah. I'm watching Good Omens right now.
Oh,
I got two episodes left of that. I'd have had it done by now, except I fell asleep earlier.
But that was a good one too.
Yeah.
I was not 100% on David Tennant, and another name escapes me, but the guy
Martin
who plays
Sheen.
No, as Raphael.
Yeah, Martin Sheen. Yes, it is. I know it fucked with me too. I'm like, that's not Martin Sheen, but it's the same name, but it's like two different Martin Sheens. Trust me, I've watched it.
No,
you're not taking my word for it. He's off his nut. No, I'm telling you,
Michael Sheen. I knew it. I knew it was a Sheen, but it was Michael Sheen, not Martin Sheen.
I could have swore it said Martin.
No, Michael.
Okay,
that's what I was like. I was like, no, Sheen's right, but I couldn't place it.
Well, and that's our show. Now I got to go eat crow.
Well, you were close. At least you had
Machine.
M Sheen.
Yeah. He's the machine.
I was kind of on that mixture, but I really dug it. By the time that I got through the first episode, it's like, yeah, I could totally see that. And that's good. So,
yeah.
But anywho, we've been saying goodbye for the last 3 minutes, so we will see you next time. I'm Topher.
Little Sonny.
Later.